Welcome to Cinecynics. My name is Craig. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! So first up on Dailies is the trailer for The Internship, starring Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. I am going to be cautiously optimistic about this movie because it looks like it could be really funny, but it also it looks like it could be really, really bad. I'm definitely getting an old school vibe from this movie. It's probably not going to be as funny as The Wedding Crashers, but I'll definitely want to see it just because Vince Vaughn does a great job with comedy, and Owen Wilson with Vince Vaughn made a great duo in The Wedding Crashers, so I'm hoping for the best. And some Justice League news has just come out that they might delay it to 2021 after a Man of Steel sequel comes out and they reboot Batman. This is not gonna end well. I mean, it's taking them this long to just make a Justice League movie. I mean, they're not doing a very good setup for the Justice League. They're gonna wait until they see how successful the Man of Steel is and the sequel and until they reboot Batman, and they're gonna be like, oh, now we should do a Justice League movie. I look forward to seeing the Justice League movie, but when that's gonna be, I have no idea. So another piece of news that's going around the rumor mill is that Harrison Ford has definitely signed on for Episode 7 of Star Wars. It only makes sense for him to be in the 7th Star Wars. It's going to be taking place many, many years after Return of the Jedi, but it's still just a rumor, and nothing official has come out, so I'm not going to be too excited about this. Considering A Good Day to Die Hard is a father-son action flick, I'm going to recommend Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford, Sir Sean Connery, Denholm Elliott, John Rhys Davies, Alison Doody, and Julian Glover. Indiana Jones searches for his father Henry and the Holy Grail while evading Nazis that are after the same thing. This movie speaks for itself. It has great directing, acting, writing, action, and a truly wonderful and fun adventure story that plays out like a B serial from back in the day. And Harrison Ford is the man, but the only person that can overshadow him is Sean Connery. Their chemistry is amazing. I honestly believe these two guys were father and son, even though in reality, there is only a 12-year age gap between them. Indiana and his father start off rocky, but they soon discover a deep respect and love for each other over the course of the movie. Yes, there's a hunt for buried treasure, which is exciting in and of itself, but I more appreciated what they were trying to say about a father and son relationship, which is to always try to have a close relationship with your father, never regret the things that were never said, and always remember my Charlemagne. There hasn't been a movie that could hold a candle to The Last Crusade other than the other Indiana Jones movies, except for Crystal Skull. I love this movie, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time, and I can watch this movie dozens and dozens of times over, and I can never be sick of it. And that's why I'm going to recommend you watch it. A Good Day to Die Hard, directed by John Moore, stars Bruce Willis and Jai Courtney. John McClane goes to Russia on vacation while searching for his son, but finds out that his son is actually a CIA agent and they have to thwart a Russian terrorist plan. I think I may be in the minority when I say this, but I liked this movie. Now I know what you're yelling at your computer screen, this isn't Die Hard, and no, it's not. I make no bones about that. But once I realized that it wasn't going to be a Die Hard movie, I shut that part of my brain off and I enjoyed it for what it was. A good action flick. I thought the direction that John Moore took with the shaky cam approach to the movie was good. I mean, it fit the pace of the movie. It was a very frenetic pace. And just remember, J.J. Abrams, whom we all know and love, shoots his action with shaky cam, and it sucks. And you guys shouldn't take a dump on a less well-known director just because he uses it too. I really enjoyed the action, especially the car chase sequence that took place in the beginning of the movie. I thought it was very visceral, and the sequence was done practically. Not to say that there was no CG in the whole entire movie, there was a lot towards the end of it, but it didn't ruin the whole entire experience for me too much, and I really hate CG. And it was easy for me to follow the plot. I know there were some twists and turns, and there was just things that you didn't expect to happen, which I was pleasantly surprised about. But I can see why some people couldn't follow the story, and I'm just gonna put that on them for not paying attention to the movie. Willis and Jai had good chemistry. I wouldn't say they had great chemistry. There was enough there for them to work with, but I think Jai was a little stiff, and who wouldn't be nervous of being in front of Bruce Willis? And I did enjoy their banter and them discussing the problems they have with each other and his son being angry at him and his father never being there for him. And I enjoyed those small little bits of character development that happened throughout the movie. You know, it was good. They didn't skimp on it, and they actually put a little bit of effort towards it. I don't think I really like Jai Courtney. I think he has an average persona. He's an okay actor, but I really think he has a ways to go to prove himself as an actor for me. Willis definitely doesn't miss a beat as John McClane. He's the same foul-mouthed, smart-mouthed cop we all know and love. He delivers some great, funny one-liners. He talks to himself when he's doing some crazy stunt, and he curses. Thankfully, this was rated R because I think that this movie would have no saving grace whatsoever if it was PG-13. And yes, he says his iconic yippee-ki-yay line without a gunshot covering over it. But this is where this movie fails as a Die Hard movie. It begins and it ends with Bruce Willis's performance as John McClane. There was no main antagonist throughout this movie. The villains were forgettable, but they were good for what they did. And now apparently McClane is Superman and shows no amount of vulnerability throughout the whole entire movie. And one thing quick that really pissed me off is that they actually harkened back to old scenes from the original Die Hard. This is going to piss off people who love Die Hard more than it would appease them. Just don't do it. A great villain, vulnerability, great mouthy dialogue, and realistic action set pieces are what give life to a Die Hard movie, but we only got 1 out of the 4. Partially. Was it a good Die Hard movie? No. And I won't fight anybody who says different. Was it a good action flick starring Bruce Willis? Sure. I definitely enjoyed myself, and I was entertained the whole way through. I'm gonna say go see it, but if you're a Die Hard fan, you'll be disappointed. And if you liked CineCynics, rate, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you come back every Saturday for more movie news, recommendations, and reviews. And make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and follow our blog spot for our written reviews. And my question to you this week is, what is your favorite Die Hard movie?